If you guys know me, you know I love two things. I love saving money and investing. And I guess my mom's not so bad either. But in today's video, what we're going to be talking about is the main ways that I'm able to save over 90% of my income as a 24-year-old. Now in this video, we're gonna be covering the top 5 methods that I am practicing to save more money, get more money into the stock market, and better myself financially in the future. And if you're interested in that type of stuff, make sure you stick around to the very end. All right, listen, if you guys are brand new to this channel, just coming here for the first time, well, I want to say welcome. My name is Dalton. This is D-Lits TV, and on this channel, we talk about all things investing. I also cover financial freedom and my wealth building journey. There's a lot that goes into this. So in today's video, like I had mentioned, we're going to be talking about the main ways that I'm saving money, and hopefully you can use this as inspiration, institute some of these into your own life, and maximize your dollar. Now, I think it makes sense to start with the highest expense categories for the average person. Now, that's within housing, it's within transportation and travel, as well as food. So those are the 3 that I'll start talking with. And then I got 2 more tacked on at the end that's going to help maximize your dollar even more. So let's just jump right in. So listen, I did a little bit of research and I found out that according to Motley Fool, the typical person is going to spend around $1,600, $1,674 to be exact, on their housing per month. Now that is a really high expense in my opinion, because there's a number of different ways that you can get around paying that expense, right? You can house hack, you can take on roommates, you can split it with somebody else, or honestly, you can live at home, right? And so when I first graduated college, I was of the mindset that, hey, listen, I need to get my own place, I need to get my own apartment, and figure it out from there. I actually graduated, I had a roommate, and we were splitting around an $1,800 a month apartment. Now, including utilities, I was paying around $975 out of my own pocket. Now, if you look at that and you look at what the average spend is, I'm saving a pretty significant amount of money. I'm saving around $700 a month by renting an apartment with a roommate. But I then took it a step further. So a year after I graduated college, I decided, hey, what the heck am I doing? I just threw away like $14,000 this year that I'm never going to see back. I really got a game plan. I want to buy a property. And that was kind of my mindset, and actually it shifted me. And what I'm doing currently is I'm actually living at my girlfriend's house with her mother. And so right now I'm still paying just a little bit of rent. My girlfriend pays rent as well, but it is significantly cheaper than even that $975 a month I was spending before. So now for my current living situation, I'm spending right around $350 every month, which again is just another huge opportunity for savings. So if you look at that expense, and not everybody's going to have that opportunity to live at home, but again, roommates and other situations you can pull in and draw from, there are ways that you can get around this cost. So if you look at that, my situation right now where I'm paying only $350 a month, I'm saving around $1,300 a month compared to the average person. Now, annually, that works out to be right around $15,888. So again, that is the most important and the biggest way that I've been able to save money. And I've been doing this for almost a year now. So you can imagine that through working and saving my money, it's been a lot easier to start utilizing my money in the ways that I actually want to. All right, so the second category, like I had mentioned, is going to be transportation and travel. That's a luxury that really, even, prior to this past year where there's this pandemic and nobody can really travel, there's not much going on, things are on lockdown, I really didn't travel all that much anyway. You see, I was raised in New Hampshire, I went to college here, I've been in this little bubble, I haven't really experienced traveling out to different states, let alone countries or anything like that. Hopefully one day I will be able to. That is a goal of mine, but honestly, financially and just my upbringing, we weren't put in that fortunate situation where we could just go take these vacations and do all these different things. Now again, eventually that is my goal. I'd love to be able to travel to these different places. So this expense has always been one that's really expensive for some people, but for me, it's really not that much because I don't do it all that often. Now, one issue that I did have, I guess, would be going to friends or visiting other colleges perhaps, and that starts to add up. You see, the average person is going to spend around $250 per month on gas. And that works out to be somewhere around $3,000 annually. Now, For the most part, I've always like carpooled with everything that I did, especially in college when my friends were like, hey, let's go do these things. Like I typically wasn't the one driving. I didn't even have a car on campus really till my senior year. And then prior to that, I actually drove around on a moped. So that is one of the absolute best ways that you can save money on gas, because every time I went to the gas station, which was maybe once a week, depending on how often I used my moped, maybe once a week, it would cost me like $1.27 to fill up my gas tank. It was so cheap, and one of the best ways for me to get from point A to point B around a campus. And they go 45, they can't go on the highway, so it is dependent upon where you are. And you may be like, well, how much did that moped cost? Actually, I was super fortunate, because what had happened was my brother won a 50-50 raffle at a Celtics basketball game, and he used that money to purchase a moped, and he had no use for it when I was at college. So he's like, hey, do you want to just drive around on this? I was like, heck yeah. And so if you ever saw me whipping around campus, there's probably 3 dudes with me on the back of the moped. One was hitching on a skateboard. Yeah, that was me. And I did get pulled over one time, but was not ticketed. It was actually a taillight issue. So, just drive at your own risk. But again, getting back to that topic of gas, this past year, I'd be surprised if I filled up my gas tank more than 10 times. You see, what I do on a day-to-day basis doesn't really shift that much no matter what day it is. And what happens is I'm gonna be working 9 to 5, my regular job, and then as soon as 5 o'clock hits, I flip the switch, go over to the YouTube mode, start recording these videos, start editing, and that's pretty much my night. So I don't really get out, I don't do too much. Maybe I'll go to like Target or the grocery store every now and then, and typically I'll take like a lunch break walk. But other than that, I mean, this is my life. This is what I've been grinding, what I've been doing. And honestly, it just keeps me laser focused, and it helps me save money. And so the third category that I want to discuss is going to be food, whether you're eating out at different restaurants or you are spending money, an excess amount of money on groceries. There's definitely ways you can cut back. And I definitely had this issue, especially after I graduated college and I was going to the grocery store and eating food when I was at work. I was pretty much going to get food every single day, and it was just this huge mess. And looking at my expenses, that was one of the highest categories for me for sure. It was just all bad decisions. And now what I do is I am really particular about what I'm buying. So I used to go into the grocery store with my girlfriend. We'd pick out these different things, and then all of a sudden our cart would be like $300 worth of groceries, and we're like, how the heck did that happen? And always when you're checking out, you're not going to really put anything back because it's such a hassle, so you always end up buying it anyway. So we're realizing it's getting too expensive, but we're not actually doing anything about it. So one of the main ways that we actually combated that was by introducing the shopping online method, where we can now, our local Hannaford's, which is our grocery branch around here, they do pickup. So you can order all your groceries online. You're going to get an expense right off the bat. You're going to know exactly how expensive these groceries are, how much you're going to pay, and you can take things out of your cart very easily, put them back in. The biggest drawback to this, right, is the $5 fee that comes along with using this service. But the thing about that $5 fee is, you think about it, you put it into to a time value, and if I'm recording a video, being able to publish on YouTube quicker, and I don't need to do things like grocery shop, this is where it saves me a heck of a lot more money, because on average it probably would take me like somewhere between 30 minutes to an hour on every grocery shop, which is highly inefficient. And it's probably just because I am blind as a bat when it comes to those situations. But honestly, I could see myself doing this for the rest of my life, doing the online grocery shopping. Now, when it comes to eating at restaurants or eating food, ordering takeout, what have you, this is where it was one of the harder aspects it took me to change. And basically all I did was say, I sat down with my girlfriend and said, hey, listen, we're spending way too much money on ordering food and going to these different restaurants and handling it that way. So what we do now is we have one specific date night where essentially we're just going to buy food Saturday night from a restaurant. Usually we try to do local just because it's going to benefit the restaurants that are in business in our area. Now, the fourth category I want to cover, and this is one that has been absolutely incredible for me, is actually looking around, shopping around for different deals on things like your cell phone bill, right? I'm actually able to save over $978 a year just by using a cell phone service called Mint Mobile. I've made a couple review videos on them before. I'll link them here if you want more information on them. But basically, actually this upcoming year, I've referred enough people, like I had some of my friends, my girlfriend's now on my phone plan with Mint Mobile, and then I referred, I believe, 2 or 3 other friends. And what this did was it gave them a little bit to start funding their new service, but it also gave me money in return as well to go towards my bill. So what happens is now this upcoming year, it's been fully paid for because of the referrals that were received for the program. And you guys might be wondering, your service probably sucks and you got to be like super careful when you're looking at companies like this. My service has been better. I used to use Verizon, now I'm on Mint Mobile. My service has been better, and I say that like I'm again only in one real area. I've had Mint Mobile since this pandemic started, and I haven't really left, so I haven't traveled much. But honest to God, I have no qualms whatsoever with Mint Mobile. It's worked every scenario that I've needed it. It works better than the reception I was receiving before. And when you look at different services like this, I mean, you can look at other things like auto insurance and different, different things that you're paying monthly. You want to break down everything and see the best ways to save. Okay, and if I'm being completely honest, the real reason why I'm able to save 90% plus of my income is because of my side hustle. And if you don't have a side hustle in 2021, it's so easy. All you need is a computer, maybe a camera. You can do something on YouTube. There's a ton of other routes. When I was in college and high school, what I actually did was I found broken iPhones. I repaired the screens on them and sold them. And honestly, I was able to make around $1,000 extra a month from that. And it really adds up so quickly. So you look at that stuff, I mean, it just kind of makes sense. And with YouTube, this stuff it took a while to develop and it's finally starting to take off, right? So about a year and 4 or 5 months, I made absolutely no money with YouTube. And then for the next, like 6 months, again, I was making nothing. And then the past few months have been great. I think starting in January, it was around $6,000. February was around $9,800, and March right now we're around $6,000 again. So everything is looking really great with this stuff. I mean, hopefully it's going to continue. I put in a lot of effort around this stuff. And again, like having a side hustle is one of the best ways that you can just keep shoveling away more and more money. You see, because I'm making this extra money, I'm not living any differently though. Like I'm living here. I'm in the basement recording these videos. There's nothing that I'm changing about myself. So it's really important that you just put things in perspective. Trust me, I'm just like you guys. I'm just the average person who loves talking about finances. Now listen, if you guys did take anything away from this video, it would mean a lot to me if you just click that like button. It helps promote my channel, get it out on other homepages, and it will get my message out more broadly. So thank you so much for checking out this video. Have a great day. I'm running out of ideas here. Leave a comment.